You know, the big C. We all do. It's scary. It touches everyone. But did you ever think eating could be like your secret weapon? Not just to prevent it, but to like really help your body fight if it does show up.
Yeah, it's pretty wild when you dig into the research, like how much power our food has,
Yeah.
over our health, and especially with cancer. It's not just avoiding the bad stuff, but actually adding in things that can like supercharge your cells to protect themselves.
Right. And that's exactly what this whole deep dive is about. It's the ultimate anti-cancer diet, which sounds kind of dramatic maybe, but it's really more about finding the best strategies that science and Ayurveda both agree on.
Yeah, we wanted to give you like a clear path you can follow right from your first sip in the morning all the way to bedtime.
Yeah.
We went through a ton of research for this, university studies, the latest scientific papers, and then that ancient Ayurvedic wisdom too.
It's fascinating, honestly. Like, we found this one food, and it's amazing for fighting cancer. Super powerful, but most people just don't know about it.
Yeah, we'll get to that one later. Don't worry.
Keep listening. So basically, we're building you a meal plan that's like actually backed by science and ready to use. We'll break it down by time of day so it's easy to follow.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right, so first thing in the morning, right? Those early hours are key to kind of jumpstart your body's detox system and even switch on some genes that can actually help prevent cancer from developing.
It's interesting how much impact those small morning routines can have. Like just starting your day with some warm lemon water with a little turmeric in it.
Oh, yeah. The curcumin in turmeric is a total rock star. It's a huge anti-inflammatory, and research is showing it can actually mess with the way tumors grow. It's like giving your cells a little nudge towards protecting themselves.
Exactly. And then you follow that up with a cup of green tea or maybe matcha if you're feeling fancy. Both are packed with EGCG, which is this powerful antioxidant.
And studies are finding that this EGCG can mess with the signals that cancer cells use to grow and multiply.
It's not just theory either. There was a Harvard study that found people who drank green tea every day had something like 50% lower risk of certain cancers. It's pretty remarkable.
That is huge. And you know what else is simple to add in? Flaxseed and chia seeds, just sprinkle them on stuff. They're full of lignans and omega-3s.
And those have been specifically linked to lower rates of both breast and prostate cancer. It's crazy how these tiny seeds can pack such a preventative punch.
I know. Okay, one more morning tip. How about some papaya with a little sprinkle of black pepper? Papaya has lycopene and this enzyme called papaya.
And those might actually help break down those abnormal cells. Plus, the black pepper helps your body absorb all that good stuff from the papaya.
See? Morning routine done. Simple but strategic. Detoxed and ready to go.
So then for breakfast, we want to keep building on that foundation. You want to fuel up with foods that fight inflammation and give you energy.
Yeah.
Sets the stage for your whole day. Yeah.
Totally. It's like breakfast reinforces that first layer of protection. What do you think of for breakfast? Maybe some oatmeal with berries and walnuts?
Oh, that's a good one. You got the beta-glucans in oats, which are great for your immune system. And then the berries, they're just bursting with anthocyanins.
And those anthocyanins are so important for protecting your DNA from damage, which is a huge part of how cancer develops. Wasn't there a study at the University of Maine about blueberries?
Yeah, they found that wild blueberries could actually slow down tumor growth and reduce oxidative stress. Pretty powerful stuff.
See? Food is medicine. What about a smoothie? Spinach and avocado, maybe?
Love it. Spinach has folate and chlorophyll. Both of those have shown some potential for blocking things that can trigger cancer. And avocado, you've got the glutathione, which is a powerful detoxifier.
It's like a green machine in a glass. Don't forget the ginger and cinnamon tea, though.
Oh, yes. So good for reducing inflammation. Plus, it helps with digestion, and some research even suggests it might protect against cancer cell formation.
All right, so morning routine breakfast done. We're powered up and protected. Now it's lunchtime.
This is where we go for a serious anti-cancer boost. Midday is when your digestion is really working, so it's the perfect time to load up on nutrients.
Make it count. What do we go for? How about a quinoa and broccoli bowl? It sounds simple, but it's a powerhouse.
Quinoa is a complete protein, so it's great for cell repair. And then the broccoli, that's where it gets really interesting. It's full of this compound called sulforaphane.
And sulforaphane is like the king of cancer fighters. There was research at Johns Hopkins that showed it could potentially lower cancer risk by like 80%.
That's incredible. It's so potent. All right, what else for lunch? Maybe a lentil soup with lots of garlic and turmeric.
That sounds good and hearty. Garlic has allicin, which can actually block the growth of cancer cells, and turmeric seems to make it even stronger.
They work great together. And you know what else is really important for overall gut health? Fermented foods. Kimchi, sauerkraut, even yogurt.
Yeah, it might not seem like an obvious cancer fighter, but a healthy gut microbiome is becoming more and more recognized for its role in reducing cancer risk. Those fermented foods help with that.
They really do. Okay, so we had a busy morning and a great lunch. Time for an afternoon snack.
This isn't just to tide you over till dinner, it's another chance to boost those defenses and give your brain a little pick-me-up.
Smart snacking is so important for keeping your blood sugar steady and preventing inflammation. Both of those can contribute to cancer if they're out of whack. How about a handful of Brazil nuts?
Ooh, this is the one I was talking about earlier, the secret weapon. Brazil nuts are loaded with selenium, which is super important for lowering cancer risk.
And the research backs it up. People who eat more selenium have up to a 50% lower risk of dying from cancer, just from a few nuts.
It's pretty amazing. What else can we snack on? Maybe some carrots and hummus?
Carrots are full of beta-carotene, which turns into vitamin A in your body. That's a great antioxidant, and it's been linked to a lower risk of lung cancer, like 44% lower.
That's a big difference. And okay, I have to ask about this. Can we have chocolate, like as a treat?
You know what? You actually can. Dark chocolate specifically. 85% cocoa or higher, though. None of that sugary milk chocolate stuff.
Okay, so the good stuff. Why is that okay?
It's full of flavonoids, which are powerful antioxidants. And there's even some early research suggesting that they might help kill cancer cells. So a little bit of dark chocolate can actually be good for you.
Well, that's good news. All right, so we've made it to dinner. This is the final meal of the day, and we're calling it the ultimate anti-cancer dinner.
We want something that's light and easy to digest before bed, but still packed with all those cancer-fighting nutrients. What do you think of grilled salmon or tofu with asparagus?
Sounds delicious and healthy. Salmon has omega-3s, which are anti-inflammatory superstars, and asparagus has glutathione, just like avocado. That helps your body detoxify.
And if you're more in the mood for veggies, how about a stir fry? Lots of garlic, onions, mushrooms, bell peppers, all that good stuff.
Yes, all those veggies are full of things like allicin, quercetin, beta-glucans. They've all been shown to fight cancer in different studies. Remember that study in the Journal of Clinical Oncology? Eating garlic and onions could reduce colorectal cancer risk by almost 80%.
That's a huge reduction. And to finish off the meal, let's go with a warm mug of golden milk. Turmeric, black pepper, almond milk. It's so soothing.
And good for you. The turmeric with that powerful curcumin and the black pepper to help you absorb it, plus the almond milk. It's like a comforting hug for your immune system.
It is. Okay, so dinner is done. Time to wind down for the night and focus on those natural healing processes that happen while you sleep.
Think of this as the final stage of your daily anti-cancer routine. Deep cellular repair. What could we do for this part? Chamomile tea, maybe?
Oh, chamomile tea is perfect for this. It's great for reducing stress and inflammation. And, you know, chronic inflammation is linked to a higher risk of cancer, so anything that helps with that is a good thing.
Makes sense. What about pomegranate juice? That's supposed to be good for you, too.
It is. It's got ellagic acid, which is a type of polyphenol that's been shown to potentially prevent tumor growth. A small glass before bed could be really beneficial.
Okay, last one. This might seem a little out there, but what about meditation and deep breathing before bed?
That's actually really important. Stress can actually contribute to the spread of cancer cells.
Yeah.
So anything that helps manage cortisol, which is your stress hormone, is a crucial part of an anti-cancer lifestyle.
So it's all connected. Diet, lifestyle, mindset, it all plays a role.
Exactly. And you know what's really interesting is how these small, consistent choices can add up to make a huge difference over time.
That's what we've been talking about this whole time, right? The food you choose every day can either fuel disease or fight it. It's your choice.
Absolutely. And all the things we've talked about today, they're not just fads. This is all backed by science and ancient wisdom. We want to give you the tools to take control of your health.
So here's what I want you to do. Pick at least 3 things we talked about today and try adding them to your routine. See how you feel. Pay attention to your energy levels, your overall well-being. Think about the long game.
It really is about making those small changes consistently. And it makes you think you know. If these small choices can have such a big impact, what kind of investment are you making in your own health through the way you eat?
That's a great question to leave everyone with. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive. We hope you got a lot out of it and feel empowered to take charge of your health, one delicious bite at a time.
One bite at a time. Absolutely.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
See you next time.